Welcome, everyone, to the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective. My name is Kaia Ra, and it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome you into our sacred online space where we gather once a month for our free community ministerial offerings. For those of you who are brand new to the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective, welcome. This is a space of creative connection with the divine that is focused on the ascended masters and teachings of the Sophia Code. You don't have to have read the Sophia Code to participate. Um, it's a space where you can get to know the frequency, the resonance, the teachings, and the healing energy of the living transmission of the Sophia Code. For those of you who have traveled with us throughout the years, my warmest heart welcome to you. I'm so happy that we are here together in yet another year of life. We welcome in 2026. I think probably for all of us a little bit in shock that we are already here. And we're just so happy to be celebrating the Western New Year with you today. And of course, many of you know that I celebrate the Lunar New Year. And so, kind of fun to just celebrate new beginnings from now until February. And just a gentle reminder that as I'm taking this sabbatical to complete my novel, I'm only doing audio only recordings for the free ministerial offerings. And this just allows for me to just settle in, focus on what I do for the service for the foundation once a month without overgiving at this time. Showing up visually is involves a lot more work. And what's really important is that we're here together to focus on the teachings through our hearts, bodies, and minds through this audio transmission. So thank you so much for your understanding about that. And let's see, I would like to just share that the Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective, we have been offering this for over a decade, and it has been sponsored for a good part of that time by the Sophia Code Foundation. And so it is with a heart full of gratitude that I want to thank all of our donors who have made it possible to continue to offer this free ministry to our community and to the public at large. Our next free community gathering will be on Wednesday, February 18th at noon Pacific. And that gathering will be for the Sovereign Soul Alliance. If you'd like to learn more about the Sovereign Soul Alliance, you can visit us at the sophiacode.org. And our next Heaven on Earth Prayer Collective will be on Friday, March 20th at 1 p.m. So I'm really thrilled to be back here today. We have a lot of ground to cover, and I'm really looking forward to this guided meditation that I've prepared. And before that, I just want to I've got some notes here because there was a lot of content I wanted to bring into today's broadcast, especially with the beginning of the 2026. Before we do that, I just wanted to offer some quick astrology notes before we head into a more channeled space. So, for many of us, today is the full moon in Cancer, depending on where you're listening to in the world. And um, just a gentle reminder that full moons, and particularly a full moon in Cancer, um, can bring up a lot of energy, emotions, and the subject of giving and receiving emotional support. So it's kind of amazing that our prayer gathering landed on today. Today is full moon. And it's also, I feel as though the message I'm receiving in this moment around the astrology of today is it's a day to soften into your capacity to love your own heart. And we spoke about this in our last Sovereign Soul Alliance. There was something that came through me. It was that you are brave enough and capable enough to lead the rescue mission within you. And I believe that on a day like a full moon in Cancer, we are given the opportunity to see how much we have grown, expanded, and deepened into our capacity to love ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to nurture ourselves, to cultivate a relationship with our own heart, as well as the opportunity to soften to how others are attempting to love us as well. We can become more aware of the patterns that hold us in place from giving and receiving love, giving and receiving support. And so maybe these themes are coming up for you this week or today. And I just invite you to love the one within you that might be resisting receiving support, and to honor the one within you who has been courageous enough to explore new ways of reaching out to those parts within you that truly are waiting for your attention and your love. And they might be kicking rocks along the way or grumbling about it, but celebrating every breakthrough that you've had this week and today, and embracing yourself and the different parts of you that are here along your journey, not just the conscious parts, but the healing parts, the wounded parts, the parts that want to come home but are not sure if you want them to come home. And so today is an invitation to gather all the parts of your consciousness, the different aspects of your heart into a coherent field of unconditional divine love. And we are being supported on this Cancer full moon to step into that radiance of self love, um, the strength of our self love. We're also going to be experiencing more towards the middle of this month Venus entering into Aquarius, Sun entering into Aquarius, and Mars entering into Aquarius. So there's going to be a lot of Aquarian influence coming in this month, as well as at the end of the month, Neptune entering into Aries. So that's some pretty big shifts this month that are leading up to the Lunar New Year, which we're going to be welcoming in the Fire Horse in February. Some people celebrate it on February 4th. Other people will be celebrating on the 17th, where we also have a an eclipse in Aquarius. And so, what is all of this pointing to? Well, we are preparing our hearts in this month of January to step into an entirely new energy in 2026. And sometimes when we've been in deep in a yin energy, similar to that wintry hermit or kind of hermiting energy, it can feel startling to be woken up from a nap or from that hermitage kind of tucked away until the spring energy. And so these are the final weeks before that wood horse arrives. And so for me personally, that's when I personally celebrate the new year, because I can physically feel the shift that happens. And of course, I'm not gonna I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to lie. I felt so relieved when 2025 was over. I was just like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Yes, thank you, God. So, and almost everyone I spoke to felt the same way about 2025, that there was such enormous growth that happened, as well as just so much relief that having our feet so close to the fires, the constant fire of transformation through a yin healing process. That really stretched each and every one of us in new ways. So someone just wrote in goodbye 2025 forever. Yeah, we'll never have to relive 2025. There's a lot of funny comments coming in the chat. Um, and so, with that said, the guided meditation that I prepared today is to just really honor the passage we've come through with the wood snake, and I hope that you enjoy it. So, let's see. I'm just going to rearrange some of my notes here, get myself prepared for you. I wrote out a little bit of the beginning of the meditation. I wanted to include some details. Okay, great. Oh, and there's so many people on this live call. Thank you so much for joining us live today. It's lovely to be here with you. Let's take several deep breaths together, connecting with your heart, quieting your mind, breathing into your belly, feeling into your feet, feeling into the palms of your hands. Just relishing. You made it. You made it. You did it. You are so brave through 2025. You took so many risks, risks you didn't even know that you were going to take at the beginning of the year, because it was the risk of falling more in love with yourself and falling even more out of love with the illusions and lies of this world, so that you could become the most authentic embodiment of yourself to date. Breathing into your rib cage, breathing into your bone marrow, breathing into your fingertips, into the density of your fingernails, feeling your breath running past your teeth and your blood circulating in your eyes with fresh oxygen, feeling your brain tingle and the back of your legs becoming more weighted with the groundedness of your divine nature in human form. I invite you to visualize a very powerful column of white light that emanates out from the center of your heart and surrounds you in a circle of light that travels all the way and anchors you to the center of the earth, to the heart of Mother Earth, and travels far above you, far above where you sit or are laying down at this time, past your roof, past the trees, past the sun, moon, and star, past all the constellations in the sky, past all of creation, past everything in this multiverse and beyond, past the laws that govern all of creation, and back to that one source light. And even beyond that, the primordial womb space from which all souls and all creation arise. This void, this first light of creation, goes by many names in many cultures throughout many histories of time and beyond time. We just happen to call this sacred point of origin Sophia. Sophia, Divine Mother, Creatrix of all life. We welcome your Holy Spirit, your sovereign Christ light, to fall fresh upon us, upon our body, hearts, and minds. Divine Mother, you who have given birth to our very souls as divine sparks of your consciousness, we strengthen this connection through our divine light to you, back to our original source, beyond all influences of form, to remember our true source of power, our true source of abundance and prosperity, our true source of self love, because from you we receive a constant stream of unconditional divine love. And so we welcome that download of unconditional divine love on every level of our beings from your wonderful original source, like a waterfall of light flowing through the entire scope of the multiverse, through every atom of our being, and blessing all of our lifetimes happening simultaneously. But we consciously welcome in this divine light of our Holy Creatrix Source, Mother of all life. And we call into that divine communion and acknowledge the higher self avatar of our soul, which is forever in communion with our source. And we welcome that higher self consciousness to fall fresh upon us like a dove of peace, It's like a waterfall of light flowing down through our crown chakra, through the eighth chakra above our head, flowing down the back of our heads, down the back of our neck, refreshing our etheric angel wings, opening our heart centers, flowing through our limbs, filling our torsos, grounding our root chakra temple, opening our root wider. We feel how we truly are, the temple between that joins together both heaven and earth, a place where the Tao, the Great Spirit, that one Buddha consciousness, the one Christ light, may move through us as vehicles and vessels for the divine. We stand with all of our fears and all of our dreams and hopes at the temple gates of a new year, ready to acknowledge both the trials and the triumphs of the past year, opening our hearts to bring honor and victory to the battles won, to the breakthroughs gained through love, through tears, through creativity, through surrender, through letting go, through the death, through the rebirth. And we ground that divine knowing that we are perfectly aligned in this moment, gathered together as a community of sovereign light workers, star seeds, divine beings, brave enough to have a human experience, standing the crest of a new paradigm being birthed here in the earthly realms that we inhabit, that we have been sent to on a mission to bring this Christ light into the world. And we allow ourselves to ground in the totality of our divinity and the blessed gift of our humanity in a profound way. As we connect to our source, we remember that we are always in the right place at the right time. We remember that our ego has a purpose and that it's also safe for it to let go in this moment and acknowledge that through the eyes of Sophia, we are right on time in both our healing journey, our professional development, and in fulfilling our heart's calling. That there are primordial forces at work, angelic light, angelic collectives, the entire Sophia Dragon tribe guiding each and every one of us into this new year of life. You may want to bring your hands to your heart and offer 3 thank yous to your heart as we begin. Whispering, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love 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 you. The gift of your own love to your own heart in communion with all of this divine love that is unconditionally flowing to every cell in your body, nourishing your bone marrow and your muscle fibers, flowing into your emotional body and your mental etheric bodies, filling your light bodies with a confidence that you are truly held by the divine. And from this space of divine communion, connecting with your source and your higher self, I invite every part of your consciousness to feel the wholeness of your soul, your higher self, and every part of you that wants to participate in today's meditation. If there are parts of you that may feel as though they're being dragged to the party and not really wanting to be a part of this, you can say that that's okay to those parts and be curious about how they respond to that. But for those who are ready to go, let's go. Eventually, every part of us comes home in the name of love. So I invite you to imagine a beautiful and enchanting forest. Your soul knows this forest well. It is a sacred and ancient forest. The moisture in the air carries the scents of cedar and pine and different kinds of sage. A distant breeze offers the faint scent of citrus flowers and wild honey from the shoreline nearby. You are walking along a path of soft pine needles deeper into the forest, and the emerald green moss growing upon the forest floor relaxes your eyes. You drop into a higher state of consciousness that also allows great sacred space for every other part of your consciousness that walks within you. A golden full moon lights up the canopy of trees above you as you continue to walk along the path, the pine needles quietly buffering your steps. And it feels wonderful for you to have this moment with your own heart, to simply relax within the forest, letting go of any and all responsibilities for just a moment to be at one with this forest, to be at one with your body, heart, and mind. Your spirit feels safe to relax into a serene peace of mind that is at one with the forest, breathing all around you. You feel the consciousness of the trees and their interlocking roots communicating to one another through light and energy and consciousness. And you feel yourself connecting into their roots as well. Beneath the forest floor, you feel your feet ground even more as you walk through this beautiful, enchanted forest. You can feel the tall branches above you that provide food and shelter to unseen woodland creatures and winged ones nested up above. You can feel how everything is brimming with life in this forest and that you are a harmonious being within its ecosystem. The full moon, golden in the sky, lights up the forest. But because it's golden, it has a soft impact on your eyes. You feel your body relaxing even more into this forest scene, being refreshed and regenerated by the smell of cedar and pine. As you continue to walk upon the path, you notice about 10 feet ahead of you that there is a small, bright green snake that is quietly winding its way along the path. It stops to turn back in a friendly manner and looks at you to acknowledge your presence, its tiny tongue licking the air to offer you a sweet hello. And then it continues to move down the forest path with a gentle head nod and an S-curve movement for you to follow. In your heart, you easily recognize that this gentle wood snake is the sacred totem that has been guiding you all year long to experience a profound inner transformation and growth throughout 2025. You relax even more into your pleasant stride throughout the forest, now curious as to where the wood snake is guiding you to. Breathing in, a big exhale out. Up ahead, you see that there is a circular clearing in the forest, and that the wood snake has moved all the way to this central space where there is a beautiful woodland shrine. And the snake climbs up to the shrine and lays upon the top pedestal that is surrounded by beautiful flowers and leaves, decorated to celebrate its own journey through 2025, guiding billions of souls through their transformation simultaneously. You walk towards the clearing, and you can feel the presence of God in this space. There is a holiness as though the trees themselves have created a cathedral of moonlight for you to contemplate and reflect upon all of the victories and all of the breakthroughs that you've experienced this year. And you feel in your bones that you have arrived somewhere entirely new and unexpected, beyond your understanding as you stepped forward into the beginning of 2025 that could ever happen. And curious about where this is all going next. In your heart of hearts, you may see that different parts of your consciousness have also arrived to this center of the forest. You may see different ages of your inner child. You may see future versions of yourself arriving, walking from the forest to the center, where this beautiful shrine to the wood snake is in the center of the forest. You may feel parts of you gathering from unknown valleys within you, ancient parts of you, magical parts of you that perhaps you weren't willing to bring in forward into this lifetime until you had lived, maybe perhaps survived 2025's profound inner alchemy. And so all of these different parts of your consciousness quietly step forward. And you suddenly feel as though this center field in the forest, this clearing, is quite full, full of your own magic, full of your wisdom, full of those within you that are continuing to heal, full with parts of you that are still a secret. Also, parts of you that have revealed themselves and shine like diamonds, like stars at the center of the forest here with you. And you feel the presence of your higher self expanding wider and wider, creating a dome of light over the center of this clearing within the forest. And we welcome in the 8 key codes of the Sophia Code, 8 ancient trees along the circumference of this circular clearing within the forest. You feel the heavy hooves of the white buffalo, a white buffalo woman approaching in the north. And she comes with golden eagles that land in the trees above. And you feel the presence of the sky grandmothers also arriving in the north. You can smell rain. You can smell the cracking of lightning without even a drop of rain or crack of lightning disturbing the peaceful full moon night. They simply are the lightning, the rain. And you see white buffalo women in the north dressed all in white, shining like an angel in the forest. And perhaps some of your inner children are marveling at the white buffalo that stand behind her. And in the northeast, we welcome the winged one, Ascended Master Isis, who stands in the northeast, the Syrian white lions approaching, their eyes glittering with moonlight. Isis wears this beautiful hooded cape And the cape comes down her back, and her beautiful crown, her Urias crown, is glittering in the moonlight. And she smiles, she flashes a dazzling smile at you, and all your different parts gathered as a mighty being in the center of the forest. As Hathor approaches with the Ophimine angels behind her singing quietly in the elven tongues of the ancient ones, Hathor's golden radiance, much like the moonlight, embodied, glowing, her eyes peering into yours. She is smiling, for she sees that you have dared to allow yourself the gift of a more creative mindset this year, which she is saying and reminding you in the East at this moment is such an invaluable approach to life. It brings great meaning and purpose and renewed interest in your journey through life, even in the day to day experience. And she nods in acknowledgement, for many of us had to give up coping strategies and to heal very deep wounds to choose to live in a far more expanded creative state of consciousness this year. And in the Southwest, we welcome beautiful green Tara. Oh my gosh, the sound of the pine needles under her feet as she walks towards you in the Southeast, as she's attended by a beautiful emerald green Sophia dragon. And behind her are all of the 21 emanations of Tara floating on these lotus thrones behind her. And the order of Dakinis, who love the forest and the mountains. And they all come forward. You can feel them quietly, stealthily walking towards the center and anchoring at the southeast ancient tree. In the south, you feel the presence of Mother Mary arriving. Many orbs of light dance about her. Angelic consciousnesses, rays of divine feminine Christ consciousness that glow with seraphim blue flames. There are many angels that quietly arrive behind her, and Mother Mary opens her arms, transmitting the most beautiful energy of divine love to you. In the southwest, we welcome Mary Magdalene and Ascended Master Jesus. And they walk forward the most beautiful. It's like hard to describe the clothing they're wearing. It's so of the forest. It's like the king and the queen of the forest energy. It's so beautiful to see them so at ease in the forest here with us, so at ease. And their reminder to us is no matter how many advances they are kind of saying the word advances with a bit of a chuckle, um, that we may experience in technology over this next year, over this next decade. They're saying there's no technology that will ever make you feel this peace that you are feeling right now with the earth. Mark that. Remember that. The earth is our first church. And behind Mary Magdalene and Jesus, I bear witness to the arrival of Saint Joan of Arc and all of the Order of Magdalena, including the archangels, honoring Archangel Michael. In the west, arriving through the trees, the wind blowing through her hair. I bear witness to Kuan Yin coming in the west, and Mahavatar Babaji quietly walking along the pine needled floor to stand behind Kuan Yin on her magnificent Sophia dragon in the west. And now the forest clearing feels so full, with almost all of our allies invoked in every direction. And the beautiful little wood snake in the center of this gathering rises up to greet the Sophia dragon that Kuan Yin is upon, the little hello. And as he does in the northwest, our beautiful, beloved, holy seraphim, angelic guides, the Sophia dragons arrive. Many different shades and colors glittering in the night: ruby red, citrine gold, emerald green, and of course, the iridescent, pearlescent white Sophia dragons and the night black iridescent Sophia dragons that come to us from the void. And they all gather as a tribe in the northwest, anchoring their presence of celebration. And at this time, with all of our allies and acknowledging that there are so many more members of the Sophia Dragon tribe, that their entire consciousness gathers with us in this beautiful, enchanted forest, I welcome you to feel yourself, bringing all of these different parts of you into a whole coherent field, to stand by the wood snake. And as you do, if it feels safe, because it is safe in this beautiful forest where no one harms anyone, you may begin to feel the wood snake begin to spiral up your arm from the pedestal. So you can just feel the presence of this spiritual guide just resting on you, helping you to ground how much change, perhaps even upheaval, that occurred back in that human world and that human life that you're living, because of its very powerful insights of yin transformation and healing that it beckoned you to, magnetized you to. And at this time, I'd like to revisit some of the themes in honor of your victories this year. The first pillar of this snake year was the theme of rebirth. And that theme of rebirth we discussed at the beginning of the year involved two parts: a death and a resurrection. So I would like for you to take this opportunity in this sacred holy space, feeling your connection with the earth, to visualize that part of you that may have finally laid down and died this year on the forest floor in front of you. And when you do, I invite you to honor this part of your identity that finally got the opportunity to lay down and rest forever, with flowers and sage, with blessings and light, as though you were adorning a queen or a king that had finally laid down for its final rest in the forest, to become one with the forest again. This was a version of yourself before this year that had served you well, that had brought you to the gates of the wood snake. And it's more than that. It's acknowledging that there was a part of you that was complete. Like, it was complete forever. And it was as though you were saying goodbye to another incarnation of yourself. And so, as you honor this one in all of its light and all of its darkness, I invite you to feel, witness, watch this identity that had to die in 2025 to merge with this beautiful forest, to become one with the trees, the creatures, the woodland creatures, the moss, the sage, the energy of the full moon, to feel it being nourished, given back to the earth. And you may even feel a light, like a light sprinkling of rain, just like a little misting from the white buffaloes and from the dragons as this transformation, this acknowledgement of that death in such a beautiful way is allowed to happen. And you may feel the light pressure of the wood snake just sort of like create a little squeeze on your arm as it's wrapped around your arm. And as it does, you see these beautiful white little angel wings coming out of the back of the green wood snake. And it's like it's the snake saying that there's a healing happening. And now to remember and to honor that the second part of the rebirth pillar for snake year is resurrection. It's the actual birthing of something entirely new. So rebirth is the death and the actual birth of something completely new. And as we honor with our tears, with our grief, and with our joy, that version of ourselves that got us so far, it can finally now rest in peace in this beautiful forest that is a forest of your own soul's light, the sanctuary of your soul. That sweet wood snake is asking you to invite this new birthed version of yourself to step forward. Maybe it's going to walk from within you to stand outside of you so you can look them, he, she, them in the eye. Or maybe you see a future version of yourself walking from the forest into the clearing now because you haven't even fully met this identity yet, most likely. I have a feeling many of us are still integrating the shock of laying down to rest the person that we were for the past decade, 2 decades. This was an extremely potent gateway year. And as this future version of yourself that is now materializing in the present moment, because this is what happens once you lay that old identity to rest, this more authentic, embodied incarnation of yourself can step forward. Notice, are there particular colors or energy? Is there a particular feeling of this new identity that is emerging with the help of the wood snake? Is there a particular resonance to the body, to your face, to how your heart feels, to your state of mind? Maybe it still feels very much unlike you because this is who you're growing into. And you've only begun to taste just a bit of what it's going to be like to become this person. And so, with your arms open, I invite you to welcome with an embrace whatever you feel as though that you can feel or hear or even see about this new paradigm of you that is emerging. Perhaps this future version of yourself arrives to the center of the forest with great confidence. One thing I do feel is gratitude. Like this enormous gratitude from this future version of yourself, thanking you here and now, standing on the precipice between what was and what is to become. And I dare you to receive that gratitude. If it's challenging for you to let gratitude or love in from someone else, something that appears to be outside of you, this is a great moment to practice. Maybe it's hard to take a compliment, but in this forest, practice expanding your heart and your mind to receive the gratitude from your future self. There's no way you could become that version of yourself without everything that you have offered, everything that you have committed to, everything that you have healed, everything that you have been bearing witness to, everything that you have chosen to step up into and to also release and let go of up until this point. You're going to feel a very strong energy coming from this future version of yourself, almost like an energetic storm of empowerment that's coming down from the northeast part of the forest. So I'm really feeling Isis and Hathor are a part of this empowerment, and Green Tara coming down over you. Okay. This is a golden, got it. A golden dragon higher self activation coming through, opening up your crown, opening up your eighth chakra, opening up your mind to feel the presence of this seraphim dragon transmission coming in from the northeast, the east, and the southeast. Whew. Coming over your body and shaking. There's like this shaking out of fear, vestiges of fear, hidden fear. And what the Ascended Masters are guiding you to visualize, to feel, to breathe into is like, let the fear go through your legs and into the forest floor. It will be composted by the trees, by the earth. Good. Yes, you can just let it go, just drain out of your body. There is nothing about this world that is set up to reward or celebrate growth. In fact, everything is designed to uh, ensure that you remain the same. So, with great change comes a lot of fear, and it's okay to admit that. This is what forests are for. This is what the earth is for. This is what mountains and oceans and rivers are for. This is what the energy of trees is for. This is what animals teach us. Stand and be recognized, they're saying. You went anyways, even though there was fear. You said yes. And I feel that beautiful wood snake moving now from your arm. And it's starting to come up your shoulder and behind your neck. And then it's starting to go up the back of your head. Its head and its tongue like licking up in the air above your crown chakra. It's activating the back of your head and your crown chakra. Such a sweet snake, my goodness. And you'll feel its wings fluttering behind your third eye. And the wood snake is asking for you to open your third eye chakra to witness and embrace what was regenerated in your life. How did you become more in alignment with what you were authentically interested in this year? Was there a new passion? Was there a talent? Was there a vision? Was there an interest? Any interest at all? Maybe it was an interest connected to your inner child or another age of life, something that you left behind. Maybe you thought you had to. Maybe you actually did have to survive that part of your life. But somehow you came back in touch with that interest, with that passion, with that love, with that curiosity, with that innocence, and it regenerated you. What was it? You can write it down in the chat. You can write it down in your journal, or you could just hum in bliss that you reconnected with that inner flame, that sacred flame of creativity, of curiosity, of learning, of a reclaiming of an intelligence that maybe someone tried to talk you out of. Maybe it was a love for being in relationship with a certain cause or certain kind or other people that hold a similar interest. Perhaps it was simply the total surrender into finally loving your own heart and discovering how much that love has a slow burn, regenerative power that just keeps you going day after day with renewed interest in who you really are. And that sweet wood snake is just celebrating you. And your eyes are actually pointed to the west in this moment. So Kuan Yin's blessing, her beautiful New Year blessing, is just flowing to you on these waves of light that mix with the moisture in the air from the nearby shoreline of the ocean and the smell of that wild honey and sage and the cedar and the pine and the moss and the earth and even the smell of the stone and the moonlight pouring down through the tree branches. You feel Kuan Yin's blessing as though you are walking on the most sacred and holiest of grounds, because you are. You're walking upon the forest of your heart, your soul, true self. And you may feel the presence of your inner child or many parts of your inner child. You may feel the avatar of your phoenix child, the water and the fire of the West regenerating you, honoring the many passages, the negotiations, the conversations with these parts of you that allowed for you to reclaim your innocence, which was never lost. To be curious about how it wants to become a part of your adult self, of your human self, of your mission in this life, in this new year. And you feel yourself magnetized to the northwest with the Sophia dragons are reminding you that one of the pillars of 2025 was learning adaptability. Just as all plants and trees and nature thrives through adaptability, the pivots can be graceful through Christ consciousness. New approaches can feel creative and fun and not just scary. And that with a new identity may come greater capacity and adaptability to a more expanded version of life, where it doesn't have to be the same version, the same story, the same paradigm as the one that got you here through 2025. It's certainly not the one that stood at the gates at the beginning of 2025. And it is like the flexibility of dragons that can become one with the void and completely disappear in their physicality and reemerge through that first light of Sophia, reshaping themselves for whatever their next creative expression is. And so you may want to consider receiving this blessing and acknowledgement from the Holy Seraphim, lifting your heart higher, your consciousness higher, into a deeper heavenly surrender into the perfection of your human journey, the perfect timing, the perfect unfoldment that includes the imperfections of being human. The Tao, where the presence of your higher self knows far more than your human awareness and is constantly and ever continually gently guiding you to stay in alignment with its divine resonance and consciousness every moment of your life. Feel your higher self pulsing through the forest at one with these holy dragon angels, blessing you, acknowledging you, celebrating you, and also reminding you that there is several more weeks of this wood snake year to explore the levels of adaptability that will serve you well with the arrival of the wood horse. And finally, we connect with that pillar of that grounded connection to the earth as we come to begin to close out this ceremonial space, celebrating the new year, celebrating our empowerment, honoring our courage, honoring the authentic transformation of 2025. I invite you to begin to visualize your feet growing roots at the center of the forest and to feel those roots plunging into the darkness, the rich soil and minerals growing alongside the roots of the trees that surround you. And remembering that there's that amazing column of light that is surrounding your body, and it grows brighter and forms itself into the shape of a tree around you, a tree of light, and its branches extend out from your neurology through your crown chakra and your arms, and you feel yourself becoming one with the earth as your arms lift up to the sky, and that sweet green wood snake begins to climb the trees of your tree of life, the arms and branches of your tree of life. And you feel Green Tara walking towards you, and she touches your heart of hearts within the center of this beautiful tree of light. And you see a bridge of light opening to that new year that's coming in February. And on the other side of that bridge, you see an ancient fire horse ablaze with sacred holy fire, waiting to receive you across that bridge. And you feel the solidification of this new identity becoming even stronger and more muscular, that with a greater musculature within this tree of life, this tree of light within the center of your forest. And you feel the presence of your higher self walking this new identity that you are out of the tree, out of the center of the forest, to begin to walk over that bridge with the ascended masters and the wood snake as your guide towards the fire horse that's waiting on the other side of the bridge. And your higher self is inviting you to walk slowly, to walk with great mindfulness towards that fiery horse. Every day you become that much closer to those sacred flames, to the momentous energy, to the insights, to the pounding hooves, to the sky beings, and the purification of 2026. And so that take these final days in the forest. Bring the forest with you. Bring the strength of this forest, the smells, the scents, the power, the connection, the energy, the rest, the relief, the rebirth with you, within you, this wood element within you as you journey through these final days towards the fire horse. Knowing in your heart, body, and mind that you are always in the right place at the right time, excuse me, for the adventure ahead, for the embodiment to come, for the creative breakthroughs and this new decade of authentic, sovereign co creation with your source. With all of the love and gratitude in our hearts, we give thanks to the Sophia Dragon Tribe, to the Divine Mother, to your higher self, for such a profound year of inner growth and empowerment. And we close this ceremony knowing that you walk forward into this new year with this forest within your heart, the strength of the trees at your back, these final days of integration and rest and rejuvenation and rebirth, preparing you to spring forward with the fire horse through 2026 with all the love in my heart. I give thanks for our community gathering today. I close this circle of empowerment, knowing that our ascended master guides and angelic orders go with you in all ways. I give thanks for the strength of our community, for the power of the Sophia Code teachings, and for the generosity of our donors and the steadfastness of our foundation that is going to continue to be a big part of our growth in 2026. With all the love in my heart, thank you so much. Happy New Year.